Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today I really have a very special guest. And she's actually my BFF, my beautiful friend forever. And she's not only beautiful outside, but she's also gorgeous both inside and outside. Also, before I would forget, I will let her tell you towards the end, but she is an artist as well. She composes her own music, she plays the piano, and I believe she also plays not just aside from piano. Do you play something else?
I sing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, aside from that, she sings and she composes her own song. And then, what do you call this one? Her name is Beth, but I let Beth introduce herself.
Aw.
So,
Thank you, my friend, for that very sweet introduction.
you're very welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, my name is Beth RICCI, and I'm the grants manager for Providence Public Library, where I work with my beautiful friend Emily. And I've
Aw.
worked here for over 8 years now.
Okay, so Beth, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for agreeing and for saying yes to me for this interview. I'm really excited and I've been waiting for this. And kids, you know what? Beth is the one. She is super sweet and very nice. So, also, if you have questions as well, you can send it to me and we'll have another interview. Hopefully, this is not the last one that we can ask Miss Beth to be able to talk with us again and with the questions. Okay, so first things first, we are both nervous. Even though I've done this a couple of times, it's just nice to be to be graced by the presence of my beautiful friend. Yeah. So, anyway, here we go. So, Beth, do you like reading?
I love to read, yes. It's hard to find the time as an adult, but I'm a lifelong reading lover. I started reading early on, probably age 3 or 4, and I give a lot of credit to my mom, who she's now retired, but she was a librarian, a school library media specialist actually. So she was always reading to me and introducing me to books. Yeah, so I'm a lifelong reading lover.
Okay. So kids, see, she started at a very early age. So it's not too late for you guys. So you should start looking for a book that you wanted to read. So Beth, do you remember which book did you first read? Or
It's hard to remember like the first, but I remember in general the different books that I loved as a kid. Definitely Dr. Seuss stories.
Okay.
Roald Dahl was a favorite of mine. Scary stories to tell in the dark. The Stinky Cheese Man. I was a big fan of, from a young age, of horror and creepy stories and things like that. So really across the board.
Oh, you're the first one that I know that started on an early age that really likes a horror movie. Horror stuff.
Yes.
Mostly it's like princesses,
Yes.
fantasy, love stories.
I loved all of that too, but yeah, I've always had a penchant for horror, and I was always reading scary stuff when I was little and then not being able to sleep, and I was definitely that kid, so it was kind of a problem, but I wouldn't trade it. I still love my scary stories, so.
Okay, how late do you go to bed? Do you want to finish a book?
As a kid?
Yeah.
Yes, as a kid, I was totally the kid to stay up too late. I was always reading past my bedtime. And again, big credit to my mom for realizing that that was a gift and for allowing it and nurturing that. So yeah, I was definitely that kid.
I know you mentioned that you read a lot of books, but is there any particular book that stands out to you that you loved it and the reason why you like it?
Yeah, probably the ones I mentioned in general, like all the Roald Dahl books. I loved Matilda. I loved the BFG, George's Marvelous Medicine. I loved the humor in them, and I loved how he always kind of framed the children as these like unsung heroes who were always kind of like held down by like adults and felt like they didn't they weren't seen, their special qualities maybe weren't acknowledged, but they always had these like heroic, really special qualities or like high level of intelligence in them. So that really resonated with me, because I think often as a kid you kind of can sometimes feel overlooked, or you feel like you're not, what's special in you isn't recognized. So I really gravitated towards stories that kind of brought that out and highlighted that.
Okay, so another thing, by the way, when you started reading at an early age, did you read by your own, or your mom started reading to you?
Both. I was an avid reader. I was always reading on my own, and then both my parents read to me, but my mom in particular would read to me a lot. Again, as a librarian, she understood the importance of that, and she was also such a great reader. She would be so animated. She would like put on the voices of the characters, so she was super engaging.
Yeah, so it's like kind of bedtime story.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yes.
That's a good one. So another thing you mentioned about like superhero stuff. Do you have any superhero that you like when you were growing up?
Yes. When I got a little bit older, like when I was in like 4th or 5th grade or so, got really into Sailor Moon. More so. Yes, and she's all about, I loved the message of that show, because she's a superhero who's all about friendship and promoting kindness and positivity and teamwork and taking care of other people, and she was always fighting for justice. So I really loved the message there, and as she had a group of friends that were her fellow superheroes that would fight with her. So there was a lot of that really resonated with me.
Okay, so that makes me. I don't know how to put it this way. So no wonder you are who you are, because you're kind of like, she's like really Sailor Moon.
I try. That makes me really happy to hear. Yeah, I feel like that message was really empowering and really inspiring to me at a young age, definitely.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. So, so let's move along. Are you still reading today? Are there any changes?
It's hard. Yes, I cannot find the time and the attention to read as much.
Busy
which makes me so sad, because I love to read. So literature, I don't make as much time to read anymore, but I do when I can. But I would say more so when I read now, it's more reading about music theory or something to build my technical skills and achieve my creative goals. So I'm still reading, it's just not as much literature. It's more reading kind of with a practical purpose.
Yeah. So when you were growing up, did you already know what you wanted to be? Like, I know now you're doing the grants and stuff like that, but did you ever see did you see yourself what you wanted to be, aside from being Sailor Moon? I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't really have a concrete sense of what I wanted to be or do, but I will say the things that I loved have stayed and become more prominent in my life. Loving to read and write ended up contributing to me getting into grants work, which I now do for the library. I wanted to use my writing skills to make a difference, and that felt like a really good avenue to do that, so that's how I got into grants. And now I'm really trying to build my musical skills, like I said, and produce my own music, because that's always been a huge love in my life, and it was something that I once didn't see a professional avenue for, but now I just love it so much. I want to make it more of a presence in my life, so that's definitely still a drive and a goal of mine.
Yeah, and kids, I just wanted to share it with you that I'm a fan. I'm fond with Beth, and like I said, she composes her own music. She really have a very nice, pretty voice, sweet voice. I listen to her a lot, so when you guys have a chance, how can they find you on YouTube?
Oh man, I don't even know my username on YouTube, but if you search for BETH RICCI, maybe we can put a link under this video or something.
Yes. That would be great.
I'm under BETH RICCI on YouTube. So.
Yeah, because guys, she's I'm really encouraged by her, because she composes and makes her own music. I like to write, but then I never really made it into a song.
It's hard. It's a challenge, but.
And then, so another thing is that, do you have any word of encouragement with the kids? Like, just what do you think? Like, you can give an encouragement to them. Who knows, there will be another BETH RICCI in the future.
Yeah. To the point I was making before, I would encourage you, if there's something that you love in your life, and if you have a dream, I would encourage you to just follow that, follow your feelings and what you love. That's the most important thing. You'll hear a lot of advice, go the practical route, or like, oh, that won't work out. A lot of people will kind of say things like that, trying to guide you in maybe a more practical direction. But in my experience, following what you love is everything. And we'll, oh no, sorry, little heater interruption. Following your dreams and what you love is everything, and that will always lead you where you need to go. And also, don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. When you're young, it can feel like fitting in is the most important thing, and I know I felt that way. But in the long run, being able to stand on your own and do your own thing is a really special thing, and will take you a lot farther. So don't be afraid of that.
I guess that will be where I was gonna go ask you, do you have a motto or a phrase that when you were growing up that you kind of lived by? And I guess, do you have anything, or that was the one part of it?
Well, I also always loved Disney as a kid. I loved Disney movies, but I didn't know this quote until I was a little older, and I think I was recently reading that it's not actually a Walt Disney quote, it's misattributed, but I still love the quote, which is, if you can dream it, you can do it. I really absolutely believe that. If you have a dream and you work towards it and you have positive intentions towards it and you love it, you will achieve that. So never doubt that, and always go for your dreams and what you love.
Okay, so everyone, I'm so happy that, sorry, I don't want to cut it short, but this is what I don't want to end it, but for some reason we have to. And I'm so really happy, and that I just really wanted to thank you for the privilege of your time, and thank you so much. And I know you kids are encouraged by now by BETH, so just send in your questions, okay? And then all I'm gonna do is take up all your questions, and we'll do a one sit down again with Miss BETH, and she's gonna answer your questions. So again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye. Take care.